Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 29 of Why You, Why Me, titled Plans for That Date. Excusing yourself from the stands, you made your way back down to the boys' change room, hoping to catch Katsuki in costume before he went into change. You sprinted down the stairs and jumped from the second one down, landing lightly before tearing off again down the corridor. You slowed as you got to the change room doors and noted that no one else was around. Muttering disappointedly, you turned to go back to the stands when the boys' door opened. You spun back around and was about to make an apology to whoever was about to come out when you saw the one and only Bakugo standing there in the doorway, a giant smirk on his face. "Looking for someone?" he said with casual suggestiveness, leaning up against the door frame with his forearm. No one special," you said flippantly, waving your hand dismissively as you strolled back towards him, a sly smile on your face. He had started to change when he heard you come up to the boys' change room door and instinctively knew it was you, so walked to the door, half undressed, to see you. He was shirtless and gauntletless, but still had the black pants and black and orange boots on, with the eye mask. You walked up to him and pressed your hands against his chest as you looked lovingly into his eyes. He maintained his stance against the door and leered down at you. "Aren't you gonna hug me?" you pried, pouting slyly. "Oh, but I thought you weren't looking for anyone special, so..." His voice trailed off as he looked away from you, glancing slightly back at you from the corner of his eye to see your reaction. "Oh, well, what I meant was..." You trailed your fingers down his torso to the top line of his belt and tugged on it slightly. "Well, you want to do that here, do you?" he sneered, pulling you into himself and backing into the boys' change room. "Katsuki," you gasped. "I'm not allowed in here." You squealed as he dragged you backwards to his locker, and he turned you around and pinned you against it. "I don't care what's allowed and what's not allowed," he said lowly, leaning down and kissing you roughly down your neck. You gave in to him and turned your head slightly to give him better access, sighing gently. You felt his lips smirk against your neck. "Good girl," he breathed as he kissed and nipped you gently once again. You ran your fingers up his sides, feeling his obliques and lats as you worked your way up. You could feel him shuddering with excitement under your touch, and you smiled cheekily. Should I come another time?" a voice said from the door. You looked over Bakugo's arm and saw Kirishima standing nervously in the doorway. The poor boy was extremely embarrassed at having caught you two in the middle of a make-out session, and was blushing madly and averting his eyes while fiddling with his fingers. "Right now, shitty hair, you had to come in right now." "I'm sorry, Baku bro, I can go if you..." "Kirishima, it's okay, I was just leaving," you said sweetly, trying to make Kirishima feel better. Bakugo growled as you slid out from his clutches and made your way to the door. "I'll see you in the stand soon, Kay, babe?" you said quickly to the seething Bakugo before running off down the hall. Bakugo shot daggers at Kirishima, who apologised profusely again. "You really like her, don't you, bro?" Kiri commented as he changed into his costume, readying himself for his turn at the quirk display. "Of course," Bakugo grunted. There was a moment's silence before Bakugo spoke again. "I'm going to give her a promise ring. I've already bought it," he added gruffly, pulling the black mask off and chucking it into the locker. "Whoa, seriously? That's awesome, bro. Super manly, which I always expected from you," Kirishima gushed. "When are you going to give it to her?" he asked, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Going out on a date this weekend. Give it to her then," Bakugo replied, shoving his hands in his pockets. "If you say anything, I'll kill you," he mumbled, averting his eyes from Kirishima. "Oh, I won't, bro. Promise," Kirishima replied happily. "She's a good girl. I like her." "Yeah," Bakugo grunted with a smirk. "She's changed me." He turned and walked off to the door. "Oi, shitty hair," he called back over his shoulder. "Good luck out there." Kirishima's jaw fell open. Did Bakugo just wish me luck? Katsuki Bakugo? That's impossible. All he screams is profanities and die. He stared at the door as it swung closed. Maybe Yin is a better influence than we all thought possible, he thought. Bakugo made his way up to the stands and sat down beside you, slinging an arm across the back of your seat and wrapping his hand around your shoulder. You smiled at him as he gave your shoulder a squeeze and your lips a quick peck before settling back to watch the next round of contestants. "Hey baby," he said lowly, still looking out onto the field. "Want to go on that date we were planning a while back?" "Oh, that one where I was to wear something nice because it was special?" you said, smirking at him slyly. He chuckled slightly. "Yeah, that one." Well, yes, then I'd love to go on that one, you said cheekily. Cool. Saturday night then, he said casually, still not looking at you. You studied his side profile. He was such a good-looking guy, and you sighed happily. Can't wait, you whispered softly with a grin. Saturday night rolled around, and you put on that dress that you knew Bakugo would like, checking it over in the mirror. The doorbell rang, and you froze for a second, checking your watch. Surely that's not him. He's half an hour early. Katsuki's never that early, you panicked. And there ends chapter 29. Stay tuned for chapter 30.